There are three reasons why I don't trust politicians in Singapore to mediate on race and religion. First, the PAP has its own racist baggage. Second, it's unable to properly intervene when necessary, as we've seen with brownface. And third, it sometimes gambles recklessly with race when it comes to its political maneuvers. Let me explain. I have a lot of respect for the good things Lee Kuan Yew did for our country, but we should never whitewash his legacy by ignoring his flaws, including his racist views and policies. Singapore today, because of him, has the two most racist and bigoted policies anywhere in the developed world. First, Singapore gives preference to ethnic Chinese immigrants so that we will forever remain a Chinese majority country. In 1987, Lee Kuan Yew told Parliament that if Indians were in the majority, we would never have been successful. Some of my friends are like, "Aiya, no big deal lah, just maintain the status quo." But I'm sorry, no. It's a terribly racist policy. Its messaging to society is that Chinese are better than Indians, Malays, Eurasians, and the rest. Are we a Chinese city or a truly multicultural global city? Must choose lah. Imagine if the US had such a policy, our country would remain at least 70% white. Or India, our country would remain at least 70% Hindu. You know who'd be celebrating? The most vile neo-Nazis and Hindu fanatics out there. Dear PAP, if neo-Nazis and fascists are admiring your racial policies, I think you might want to reconsider them. The second prejudice policy is preventing Muslims from serving in some military posts. Apparently, they might switch sides if we ever go to war with Malaysia or Indonesia. There was not a single Muslim in my entire armoured regiment. The messaging to society is simple. We don't trust Muslims as much. So on the one hand, Singapore tries to make its meritocracy as race-neutral as possible. And on the other hand, we have these two super bigoted policies. That is the backdrop for everyday racism against minorities. Apu nene? Kilingkia? Malay mati? Grago? The second reason why I don't trust politicians to mediate is that they don't always intervene properly with a racial incident. This toxic culture is partly why a brownface ad by the government could actually get approved. Imagine if Janil and Shanmugam had criticized brownface the moment it came out. Maybe Preeti wouldn't even have made her video. Machas got our back. But no, not a single politician said anything until Preeti made her video. Chan Chun Seng was even celebrating it. 4G leaders, damn power, man. Reason number 3 is that the PAP sometimes gambles recklessly with racial maneuvers. The best example of this is the reserve presidency. By reserving the last presidency for Malays, the PAP entrenched the view that the Malays are less competent and therefore dependent on government help. That election brought out some of the worst anti-Malay sentiment I've ever seen. Another example is Tharman. Oh, Tharman! Tharman is the most popular politician in Singapore. If he was our PM, the opposition confirmed habis. But he's too liberal and independent-minded for the PAP old guard. Instead of giving us the real reason, they racialize the issue. So Singaporeans are told that Singapore is not ready for a non-Chinese PM. Now, I'm not saying that the PAP intentionally tries to sow discord, like politicians in some other countries try to do. What I am saying is that even though the PAP thinks it's doing good, it's actually worsening ethnic relations. So those are the 3 reasons why I don't trust politicians to mediate on race. The PAP has racist baggage of its own, it's unable to intervene when necessary, as we've seen with brownface, and it sometimes gambles recklessly with race. Now, I don't think there's any politician or any political party out there that will actually truly be able to mediate on race and religion in a global city. But I'm actually optimistic that Singaporeans will step up. It's been great seeing all the different stories being shared recently. Despite all the negativity out there, I think that we're finally starting to listen to one another. And, like I like telling my Chinese in-laws, Indians can be damn racist too. Racism is not a one-way street. We need to listen to views from everybody. But no need to always call the police lah. If you don't like something, criticize it. Share your own view. Of course, there are certain lines we can't cross. You can't incite violence against another race. And you probably shouldn't also say that one race is genetically superior to another. Unless you're Lee Kuan Yew. But you're not. I'm actually very hopeful. I think we're one day going to look back at brownface as the moment when ordinary Singaporeans decided, okay, let's start talking honestly about these issues, let's stop taking direction from the top, and let's start building a genuine multiculturalism from below. And that will lead to real harmony and positive change. Romba thanks. Is the head shake racist? Fuck, man. And am I allowed to say Romba thanks? I'm not even Tamil. Or is it Tamil?